Welcome back, everybody. Today, we're here to check out another scooter. Not just any scooter. It is one of the lowest priced commuter scooters I've seen. And right out of the box, I gotta say, first thing I really like, if you guys saw my last review, one of my minor complaints was the out-of-box experience. That was super easy. So, a couple things. First off to notice, they might not have a latch there ready to go yet, but they put a zip tie here. Super smart idea to make getting this out of the box easier. So let's tear it open and see what we got. Also, the kickstand is installed. You can see right down here, got the nice kickstand installed. So this scooter, this is the Caroma scooter. And this thing is quite often on sale. By quite often, I mean they first reached out to me, I think 3 months ago, and it has been on sale on Amazon for under $200. So $199 ever since. So just from a price point, right alone, yeah, this thing, if it does anything near what it says it does, yes. Now, one thing I will say is they have a ton of different scooters on their Amazon listing. Lots of different colors. We have the 350 watt model. Now it says that it has a 350 watt motor. If you look here, that's going to be the rear motor. Front, you can see right through it, so no motor. And it says that it can reach 20 miles an hour, but some of the other literature says 15.6 miles per hour. Now it also says that this motor is a 350 watt, but it can spike up to 630 watts to get you going. So we're gonna test that out for sure. That's kind of a new one to me. Starting right off, we'll kind of get going, putting it together as we just kind of check it out. I mean, it feels a lot nicer than a $200 scooter already. Also, real quick to note, the packaging, very well packaged. You got a decently rigid soft foam here. So this thing isn't gonna get damaged in shipping either. Although, you know, with the materials it's made out of, I'm not so sure it's gonna get damaged anyways. I have a feeling this thing, as you know, along with most scooters, can take quite a bit of abuse. All right, starting right off, I'm gonna say this one is probably going to have the easiest assembly out of everyone we've tested so far, because looking in here, it has quick disconnect handlebars. That is actually a super nice feature. You can see the headlight right here in the front. So with the handlebars, you're going to just slide them in, push the button, and click it right into place. Yeah, so the handlebars are super simple to put together. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna push this little metal button in here, and then just slide it in. All right, let's check out the front latch. It appears to be a single latching action, but once it's locked in there, that is not coming loose. Check out the overall build quality here. The welds look good. So I noticed they have this extension of the shaft because this one does have exposed cables. Looking at the last one we reviewed, the Atomi also has exposed cables. And honestly, I have to say Caroma probably did it better. Instead of having this long cable right here that can get caught in things, not super likely, but it can, they have them nicely braided and coming right from the neck, and they're long enough to where they're hitting the stoppers without pulling on the cable. So well done there. All right, let's check out what came with this thing before we get too much further into it. Right here on the neck, first thing you got, super simple display. So this thing tells you exactly what the entire screen does, and apparently it has a cruise control panel right here. We'll be checking that out for sure. I did not expect it on a scooter of this price. So you got your owner's manual here. Pretty basic stuff. It tells you how to set it up. It tells you how to use the latch. You have some tools here. Looks like they're mostly just 3 different sizes of Allen wrenches. And while this was a completely toolless assembly, I imagine that they're there because over time when you're riding scooters, you're hitting a lot of bumps, you're kind of going through stuff, things are gonna get loose. All right, also included, we have our charger. What do we got here? This is a 42 volt, 1.5 amp. All right, pretty simple starter kit. Now let's go through and check out the overall. All right, so starting up here, you do have this latch here. If you pop this latch out, it's gonna allow you to adjust the handlebars to your specific needs. Down here is the latching mechanism. Pull up here, pull back. That is actually the easiest one I've had to unlatch. It locks in really tight, but some of these are very hard to unlatch. I mean, they're hard enough to the point where if you slip, you're gonna cut yourself. Like the Caroma one, or the Atomi one, don't get me wrong, the Atomi one is absolutely solid. It's got the dual action, double safety kind of situations, but that's a tough one to get undone. All right, coming into the tires here, we have 9-inch tires. They are solid. There is no air in them, so that's going to affect ride quality just a little bit. Coming around to the back, this is the 350 watt, 650 watt peak motor. You got a little brake light back here, little plastic peel. Looks like you have some side reflectors. I don't see any lights on the side, but you do have a brake light. That's nice. So this right here is something that really surprises me. This is a rear action spring for the rear tire. So yeah, these are solid rubber. So huge benefit to solid rubber tires. Well, you're not gonna get any flat tires, like ever. Downside, well, they tend to stiffen the ride up a little bit. So this spring right here is going to help add a bit to that. It's gonna make the ride a little bit smoother, hopefully. We're definitely gonna try it out. Then right here, you have the kickstand. It looks like it's built directly into the side of the frame, but replaceable in case. And then of course, you get your battery pack right in here with a solid metal plate covering it up for protection. All right, so it looks like you have disc brakes right up here in the front, smaller disc brake, and then you have your electric motor in the back, which will also act like a brake. Nice to know. So let's just test out this real quick as well. Yeah, so this is the kind of adjustment you get. That is a pretty big adjustment out of this head. Put it back down a little bit. All right, let's hop into the actual controls here. So here in the front, you have your latching mechanism. This is the latch that's going to lock it down to the scooter. If you look right here, it's going to lock right into this rear hub here. Then of course, you got your accelerator and your power button. Let's go ahead and get it on. All right, so here on the screen, you have your light display, your speed dial. It also tells you a gear display. You're gonna have some options to change your gears right down here in the bottom left. You have your headlight monitor right here in the top left. And then over here you have some cruise control dials, as well as your headlight button. So here's cruise, up or down. That's crazy that this little thing has a cruise control built right in. Now I've seen cruise controls on scooters similar to this, but they're always on an app. It's very nice to have mechanical buttons on here. And then of course, you got the bell. Now, not the biggest deal here, but check this out. There is a little bit of movement because of the type you have here. So this quick connect is gonna have its own little disadvantages, but it's not a ton of movement, but you know, it's there. It's a little bit noticeable. You also have a headlight. Honestly, it's decently bright. In this whole room that's lit up, I can still see quite a ways with it. And then coming back up here, if we hit the brakes, you actually do have lights on the side. Actually, that's a really nice way to do that. Check that out. I didn't even know that was a light before. That's pretty nice. All right, coming around to the other side, right down here, you have your charging port. It's under a fairly decent waterproof cover that actually has two magnets holding it in. That's pretty nice. Nice touch. Honestly, the only thing I'm seeing so far that kind of throws me a little bit is the movement in the handlebars. I feel like if they did a little bit better spacing on that push button, it would work, but we'll get riding it. We'll see if it actually bugs me when we ride it or not. As long as this thing does what it says it does, this is an absolute steal for $200. Like, that's a fantastic price. Okay, check this out. So I went to latch it. There's one extra step. See, since this has an adjustable neck, it won't even reach right now. So we are gonna have to adjust that to a different length to latch. Just another thing to keep in mind, you may have to adjust the neck depending on when you ride, so that's a little bit of an extra step. Not a huge deal. You know, I'd probably rather have the adjustable neck than not have it. All right, let's head out and check it out. Okay, we're back from our testing. First, let me say, do me a favor, throw a like and a subscribe down there because I just spent a couple hours riding this thing. It is cold out there, all right? It's 30 degrees, so yeah, it's not the coldest, but riding a scooter, like and subscribe for more, guys. So, first up, let's talk about one of my first concerns, if you will. The slight movement in the handlebars due to the way they go together. Once you're riding it, I didn't think about it at all, not one bit. Top speed, they say the top speed is 20 miles an hour. Surprisingly, I got this up to 18, but I did find on inclines and stuff, it would lock into about 15 and stay there pretty easily. It didn't dip down quite as far on the hills. Well, I have some scooters that are nearly double the price. Next up, we did have the kid test it out too. This scooter, for the price, it's great for adults and kids. This thing will handle up to 300 pounds. She hopped on it and rode it like an absolute champ. Like no problem, easy, on and go. We dropped the handlebars down. That was my main reason to do it. I wanted to kind of have that tested out too. The lower setting on the handlebars, I believe, is 40 inches from the ground and 46 at the top. So pretty decent spread. I was super comfortable riding it. I'm 185 pounds, 6'1", and no problems. Now the range on this thing, they say the max range, I believe, is 20 miles, but just to explain how they get those numbers, the max range, they do those tests at the lowest speed and at 165 pounds. So if you want to ride at the lowest speed the whole time, you're going to get that. Realistically, I would expect around 16 at the tops if you're riding fairly smooth grades. But overall, this thing feels solid. It rides a lot smoother than I thought it would for having solid rubber tires. That little bit of suspension in the back makes a huge difference. Platform, super grippy, comfortable as I put my hands in all the dirt for me riding today. Yeah, overall, I'm gonna call it right now. This is currently my #1 budget scooter for 2024. I mean, the price, the quality, the ride, it's great. I did a little bit of background research just on the reviews on this thing, and everybody loves it. People have been buying this scooter now for quite a while, and it has an overall 4.5 out of 5-star rating. Just about everywhere I looked. I haven't seen anybody having any issues with customer service, quality, battery issues, nothing. I haven't seen any of it. So that's a pretty solid sign in its own. So that's gonna be it for this video. I'm gonna post the links down below. Thank you, Caroma, for sending this out to me. I'm pleasantly surprised at the quality you can get these days for $200 on an electric commuter scooter that'll go almost 20 miles. If you guys like content like this, make sure to like and subscribe, follow down below, join our Discord if you like, and then come back and see us on Fridays for our live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. Thanks for stopping in, and we'll see you on the next one.